was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now a promise made is debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every night, that quiet clay seemed to grow heavier and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought of it. Then I looked at my frozen chum. "Then here," said I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flame just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see, and I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so, and the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke and an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and danced about, and again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked." Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I gravely fear you'll let in the cold storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There's strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that'll make your blood run cold. Northern Lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee." Thank you. Janet Dunn, everybody. What? Say what? Yeah, it's on. Hopfogel? It's always good to look, right? You all can come down closer, use more of the hill. Don't be afraid. Come on down. Come on down, spread out. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Spread out a little bit. Hello, Pepper. No, keep coming. Gather around. We're fine. That's right. Come on down. Stone Cold Mike Hannon, everybody. The Tennis Brain Trust over there on stage right. That's right, Cody. Lead the troops, buddy. Come on down. Come on down. Smitty, you can do some freestyle up here? Retired. That's too bad. It's not the right time of night for that. Manu, you out there? Manu. Manu. Where are you, Manu? Come on down, Manu. Maybe he get panicked. I guess it's up to you, Dom. That's right. What? Yeah. Manu. I don't see you. Where is he? Hey, Manu. Everybody clap when he shows up. Thank you. Club Davis is coming over. No, it's fine.
Got special permission. Yeah. No, we're not. No. Coaches, so you know, stay on the hill until we call your season. And when we say winter sports, then all winter varsity head coaches would come down. Same thing for fall and spring. Huskies, I am really, really, really happy to make this announcement. So long as you're seated and you're distanced from the neighbors, you can remove your masks. Gosh, I thought that would be way more exciting news. Jackson, you and Charlotte can go.
Before we get going, Jackson and Charlotte have an announcement to make.
Hey everybody, my name's Charlotte, and me and Jackson are working together with the NHS on a new charity project. It's called Souls for Souls, and we're asking you to, as you're moving out or moving into the summer, to donate any gently worn shoes. Jackson will tell you how to do that, but this is donating to people in poverty that can't afford to get those things that they need. So please, if you can, donate, ask friends, make signs, and participate. Thank you all.
To donate, there will be bins in each of the dorms and all the day student lounges. You need to donate shoes, whether they're sandals, sneakers, or even cleats in pairs. And please, no ripped or torn shoes, and clean them off before you donate. That would be great. Thank you all.
Okay, it's 3:30 and it's nice and warm. Welcome everybody to the culmination of the most bizarre year in Kents Hill athletic history. You guys all know about masks, so as long as you're seated, please feel free to take your masks off. It's a couple changes. As coaches, we met and we talked about how we wanted this to go and what we thought about the season. We will be awarding varsity awards only this year, and we will be giving out either most improved or coaches awards to the varsity teams. So when it's your season, if you hear your name, we ask that you come up, meet your coach, and receive your award. Okay? So it's pretty simple. Be careful coming down the hill. I'm worried about some folks. I think they might be able to do some somersaults and arrive safely at the bottom, but please be careful. Before we get going, I wanted to make sure that I shared with all of you guys my thanks to a lot of people. You as student athletes have far surpassed anything that I could ever imagine in a pandemic year, which I never could have imagined. You did it with grace, you did it with perseverance, and it was really impressive. You made it in a really bizarre way super fun to come to work every day. I know that this year was not easy on you. It was never more challenging than to be at my desk and know I'm going to have to tell them again that we can't play. I'm going to have to tell them again that we're staying in this phase and all these other different challenges that we faced and disappointments. You modeled so many things for me, and I will take that with me forever. And I hope that our younger student athletes will always draw on that, and that you, as you leave the hill if you're a senior, will remember you did hard things. And you did them really well this year. So I want to thank you for your patience with us as administrators, as athletic directors, with our facilities, and everything that came down the pike this year. I want to thank our facilities crew. They've done an amazing job helping us. They've filled in for a lot of roles in our world in athletics, and they did it with a smile, and they did it even in the last minute today. I had to pull the trigger and say, can we cut the grass? And they really, really came through. So if you see any of our grounds guys or facilities guys, make sure you thank them because they helped make this year better. I want to thank the dining hall. While we did not tax them as much this year, rest assured we did tax them at the last minute with a few things, especially this spring. So thank you to Sherry and the Sage crew. I personally want to thank whoever it is that's the laundry gremlin out there. I came in many days and somebody had magically done the laundry. So whatever adult, or if there's a kid out there with a key, I need to know that. Thank you for making my life a little bit easier. A couple things I want to explain is this January we started the Athletic Council. There's a great group. If you were on the Athletic Council, could you please stand up? There were about 15 of you, so please stand up. And next year, our graduates will leave their legacy behind, but next year this event will be run by our athletic council because you guys are probably far too tired of hearing from me. The athletic council met once a week from January through till just this last Tuesday, and later in our ceremony, we will explain the varsity letter policy that was drafted by the athletic council on behalf of our students. So they did an amazing job, and they were super willing to give up an hour every Tuesday night to help guide our athletic department, and I'm really excited for what the future will hold. I want to give a really special thank you to Mr. Reynolds. He's been amazing. I don't know if he knew what he was getting himself into when he joined the athletic department, but to think about the hours that he put in at the ski hill this winter, right out of the gates, pun intended, I know he was putting in 70, 80-hour weeks for a very long stretch. We never saw each other. I was in the outfront, he was on the hill, and he made this winter really, really special for so many of you and so many of our adults in this community that I just can't thank Josh enough for everything that he's done to keep me sane, to kind of guide my thinking in ways that it hadn't been before, and just his level-headedness and his passion for what we get to do every day for you is really, really awesome. So thank you so much, Josh. All right, enough from me, because you didn't come here to listen to me. So right now, I'm really excited that Mrs. Dunn, who will be retiring this year, has agreed to present our Fall Sport Award. So Mrs. Dunn.
Thank you. I'm starting off with the boys varsity cross country. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, boys varsity cross country. The award for most improved goes to Kai Kujawa. Okay. And the coaches award, David Hopvogel. Fall coaches, would you come down, please? Fall coaches, would you all come down, please? Okay, the girls varsity cross country, the coaches award, Rose Jenkins. Now for field hockey, most improved, Paige Caulfield. And for the coaches award, Kelly Scott. Golf, most improved, Cordell Pern. And the coaches award, Thomas T.J. Folsom. Mountain biking, most improved, Norris Andrews. And the coaches award, Finn Sheridan Crane. Boys varsity soccer, coaches award, Jordan Bell. And another Coaches Award to Cody Chute. Now I'd like to introduce Kelly Scott.
I can wait.
I didn't know I had a speaking part. All right, so not last but not least, girls soccer, varsity soccer, most improved award, Abigail Graham.
Watch your feet, bud.
That would be perfect. Oh no, don't be sorry at all. Stop, Abby. All right, and most coaches award to Josie Palmer. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that would be kind of nice. I think we can all agree that this year's athletics were nothing like any of us were expecting. To say the least, it kind of sucked. This was the first time ever that the seniors had the worry of not being able to play. It was scary knowing that as a senior, I might not be able to put on my uniform for the last time, and that there was a possibility of never experiencing a senior season. COVID brought a lot of unknowns to our athletic world. Regardless of that, in a way, as a student body, we were able to persevere. Athletics is one of the many things that holds this campus together, and for many of us, it's what keeps us going. I want to talk about the importance of sports on campus. For me, sports is an outlet. It isn't just something that I love doing, it's something that I look forward to every single day. I think many students can agree when I say a sports practice can be really uplifting on a bad day. Having the space and the opportunity to practice with a team or amazing coaches is something that can't really be taken away, especially at Kent's Hill. Our athletics means everything to us, and we didn't let COVID steal that. Majority of the time, all the odds were stacked against us, but we kept moving forward anyway. From COVID to new CDC rules, it truly seemed like nobody would be able to experience how important and amazing sports are on the Hill. Luckily, even if it was just practice, we were still given the opportunity to play. I think it's important to remember not only all the negatives we've endured, but also all the positive things we've done athletically this year. The fall season seemed to blow by before any of us noticed. Although it wasn't my ideal senior field hockey season, it was definitely one I will remember. There was an ongoing joke that the field hockey team ran more than the cross-country team, and at some points, it really seemed like we did. However, I think it's important to point out that we wanted to do that. Although most of us groaned or were upset about running back and forth across the turf, there was also a lot of joy in the work we put in. Regardless of the fact we knew we weren't playing games, we still had the same drive and passions for our sports. Even with everything that was happening at that point, every single team could be found putting in work, and in some cases, more than we had in previous years. Watching the soccer team's 3v3 tournaments or playing in scrimmages felt just as important as an actual game. Even if it felt bittersweet, in a way, it felt good to be sharing that journey with everyone. Moving to the winter, and hear me out, it was absolutely freezing, and I absolutely dreaded walking down to the Alphon every single day. However, I guess it was sort of enjoyable. The paths were full of students either walking up from the Alphon or down to their practice. Although many others might not think much of it, it made me happy. Happy to see other students trudging through the snow, knowing that they too were also going to a sport they enjoyed. I don't really play a winter sport, so I found myself in fitness with some friends. We often stopped our practices or stayed after to watch the hockey and basketball teams. Most of the time trying to figure out who they were or what they were doing. But at some points, I wish I was part of one of those teams, just because of how fun they made the practices look. The same effort and passions from the fall followed in the winter. The same drive and determination are what made the practices so enjoyable to watch. I think one of my favorite memories was watching the boys and girls hockey scrimmage. I felt like I was almost begging Ambrose to let me watch in person, and luckily she did. I had my eyes glued to the ice throughout the entire game, not wanting to miss a single moment because it was truly just that exciting. Just for a few moments, it felt like Kensal was its normal self. It was nice just seeing athletes being able to be athletes. Finally, probably the most exciting season is happening now, this spring. Spring brought much needed warm weather, as well as the exciting news of actual games. Even if we all only played about 2 to 3 games, it still meant the world to all of us. Being able to play our first and last season of the year was something we all desperately wanted and needed. It felt like all of our waiting for games was finally over, and as simply as that, we had begun to play. And it felt good to listen to all the wins and losses Kensal had. It felt normal. Seeing and watching our teams play on our home field was truly an unmatched feeling. Being a part of the softball team was awesome, regardless of the fact we lost every game. We still managed to have fun. After our first game, our motto became, "Let's not get mercied," and in our next game we did just that. Our final home game was one of the most memorable. We had already lost a player to the previous game, and not even one inning in, we had lost another, forcing us to play down. As a team, we definitely earned the title of Best Team Spirit. Even though we lost that game, we left with our heads held high, and it was one of the funniest, intense, and best games I played here at Kensal. It felt like it was over way too soon. However, our spring seasons ended on a bang, and I felt accomplished as I finished my last game at Kensal, as I knew many of the other seniors felt the same way. This year was full of tons and ups and downs, but yet again, Kensal seemed to keep going, and together we finally made it through the year. I think regardless of what this year brought, there were still amazing athletic moments on the hill. The athletes are what made this year so fun. From the beginning to the end, we all continue to play, push each other, and motivate until the end. So here we are, all in one piece, having a year of athletics that none of us expected. However, rather than us focusing on the negatives, let's continue to focus on the positives. We played, we had fun, we persevered, and we upheld what athletics means to us on campus. Before I get off stage, I just want to say thank you to Ms. Ambrose, Mr. Reynolds, our coaches, our trainers, maintenance for all that they did for us, as well as all the athletes on campus. We continued to practice and grow together. Each of you allowed us to have a senior season, and I will always be thankful for that. Thank you.
I'll do winter awards and then nice job, Kelly. If the winter coaches could please come on down. Hey, man, if you help them with grabbing the right ones, it'll make it quicker. All right, let's start with basketball. The award, Boys Varsity Basketball Most Improved, Evan Slotnick. Hello, Evan. Where's Evan? Boys Varsity Basketball Coaches Award goes to Emmanuel Menuretta. Girls Varsity Basketball Most Improved, Zoe Cheney. Do 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 Girls Varsity Basketball Coaches Award goes to Hannah Parsons. Okay, sliding over to the rink. Boys Varsity Ice Hockey. Most improved, Holden Hall. Boys Varsity Ice Hockey Coaches Award, Jacob Andruzzi. Andrew will give mine. Girls Varsity Ice Hockey Coaches Award, Lenny Frillick. Gone but not forgotten. Coaches Award for Girls Varsity Ice Hockey, Jordan Johnson. Okay, moving over to the Alpine Center. There you go, Carlucci. My man. Boys Alpine, most improved. He went back to Texas, so he's missing out. Jack Power. Hi, Jack. Coaches Award, no surprise here, Mr. Jordan Bell. Girls Alpine, most improved and most tenacious, Kaylee Feeney. And the Coaches Award for Girls Alpine, coming out of left field, is Ella Mercer. Okay, last for Winter Sports Awards, and certainly not least, Snowboarding and Freestyle. No, Danny's doing what Danny does. He's not here right now. Most improved, Travis. Where's Travis? Amazing. Young man never was on a snowboard in his life, and he was doing crazy tricks 2 weeks in. And the Coaches Award, very deserving, Aiden Nolan. There he is. No flexing, Aiden. Good job, everybody. Coaches, you can return to the hill, and students. Except I have the pleasure of introducing a man that needs no introduction, Emmanuel Manu.
Hello. Yeah, perfect. Like that? Okay. So, good afternoon, Huskies. Before I begin with my speech, I just wanted to give a special shout out to every seniors in the place. We're near the end, so can you please make some noise for yourself? So, I've only been here for 2 years, but my time as a student athlete on the hill was a time of growth where I learned more about myself, I gained maturity, and I not only became a better athlete, I became a better person. I met talented and amazing guys that became my teammates and who are now my brothers. I'm thankful for every moment I spent here, whether it was on the soccer field, well, probably more on the bench, I'd say, on the basketball court, or even on the tennis court where I was getting my ass kicked by some freshmen. I also wanted to give a special shout out to Smitty, who helped me out during the struggling moments, especially when I first arrived here. Thank you for your support and for being tough on me. I will forever be thankful for everything that you've done, and I will forever be thankful for your after-game banana bread. It was delicious. But more seriously, I'm sure every coach had the same impact on their players, so in the name of every Cancel athlete, thank you. Thank you for believing in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. Thanks to you, we were able to surpass our limits each day, and we became better individuals thanks to your lesson. Finally, like all of you, I wish I could represent with pride the color of the Huskies one last time, but hey, we all knew this day would come. And I know for a fact that once you are a Husky, you will always be a Husky. Never forget, one pack, one team. Thank you, everyone.
To present our Spring Sports Awards, we asked Mr. DeHaven, who is also retiring at the end of this year, to do the honors one last time and celebrate our spring sport athletes. So, DeHave.
Thank you. Spring coaches, come on down, please. First up is varsity baseball. Most improved is Charlie Rubin. He's not here. And the coach's award goes to Paul Genuine. Boys lacrosse, most improved is Matt Welton. The coach's award goes to Adit Desai. Girls lacrosse, most improved, Eva McKay. The coach's award, Maddie Sheffield. Softball, most improved, Austin Cowley. And the coach's award goes to JJ. Boys tennis, most improved. I didn't know a goalie could do anything but play goalie. Dom Bobin. The coach's award, TJ Folsom. I think you got to go to the coach. Girls tennis, most improved, Naima O'Rourke. Coaches Award goes to Alexis Gadsden. If we had an MVP, it would be Amanda Nanda. The kid loves tennis more than anybody I know. So, Anand, Amita, I have something for you. So if you come down, I appreciate it. Thanks. Track and field, most improved, Harry Zhang. Coaches Award, Aiden Beatty. Girls track and field, most improved, Hannah Burke. And the Coaches Award, Kaylee Feeney. Thank you much.
All right, while we get our spring award winner pictures taken, I was sitting here listening to our speakers and super impressive. And as the ceremony has gone on, the more I think we do this again, we need to do it outside on a hill. COVID has given us something really great, and I think it's an opportunity for us to be out here celebrating our campus and celebrating together. I know we, in past years, have done seasonal awards, but I kind of am digging this. I like seeing you guys in your school spirit gear, celebrating each other and hooting and hollering a little bit. So this is really great. So as these guys finish up with their pictures, this year the Maine Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, that's like right along the lines of the Maine Independent School Athletic Directors Conference that we're in. It's all very, very long and convoluted. But the ADs Association awarded academic and athletic certificates and awards to Danny Eade and TJ Folsom. If you can come forward to get your certificates. Trying to keep this all from blowing away, and I don't think I'm going to do very well. Cool, thanks, Josh. terrific. And before I go any further, my apologies to the varsity girls soccer team. That was athletic director error on the sheet. I certainly had the information. I just did not translate it into the proper document. So to the girls on the soccer team and to Coach Sisson, my deepest apologies. That was not okay. So my apologies. Is Shay Cheney in the crowd? Shay, okay, there's my answer. She gave me the head nod. We've been debating this all day. Before we go too much further, I want to share with you the requirements to earn a varsity letter here at Kent Hill as established by the Athletic Council this year. Varsity letters had been awarded in the past. I can honestly share that I am not sure when or why it stopped. I might have been the reason for that. I'm not too sure, but the history does escape me. This year, in January, the Athletic Council really felt strongly that we needed to reinstitute the varsity letter. So today, after the ceremony here and the celebration of sports is over, and before the signing ceremony, if you have been a student athlete here at Kent Hill on a varsity roster, at any point in your seasons, fall, winter, or spring, you are to meet with your current spring sport coach to collect your hardware. In order to earn a varsity letter, 1 year of athletic participation is awarded as a certificate, recognizing your time and your investment, your energy, and your passion. 2 consecutive years of participation on the same varsity athletic team will receive a Kent Hill School varsity letter. 3 consecutive years of participation on a varsity athletic team, students will receive a sport pin recognizing that sport that they have played for 3 years here on the Hill that can be inserted into your varsity letter. 4 consecutive years of participation on a varsity athletic team, you will receive a Kent Hill School athletic blanket recognizing your time and investment in our athletics here on the Hill. If you were a 3-sport athlete over the course of 2, 3, or 4 years, you will receive a varsity letter for each of those sports, a pin for each of those sports, and your blanket will recognize however many sports you have played for 4 years. Hopefully that is something that will inspire, encourage, and be with you for many, many years to come. So now I have to find my agenda with all the things I'm supposed to do. Before we go into the final part, I would like to ask Mrs. Dunn and Mr. DeHaven to step forward. When I got to the Hill 3 years ago, I wasn't sure what to make of so many things that were going on. My head was certainly spinning. And one of the first experiences I got to have was spending junior projects with Mrs. Dunn. I quickly found her to be one of the most helpful people on campus, very understanding and incredibly patient. As the person who has directed our equestrian program for my entire time here and for many years before that, I never thought too much about equestrian because Mrs. Dunn just did it. She knew what to do, she knew how to do it, she told me what I should do, and I just fell in line, and it worked out perfectly. We will miss you, Janet, and we want to thank you for your years of service. And in a moment, we will show you our appreciation. Mr. DeHaven, we spent a little bit of time celebrating his last hockey practice. And DeHave and I, we've had some fun. There might have been some Hawaiian flowers involved in year 1, but we had a lot of fun. And I've really grown to admire and respect Mr. DeHaven, and he has been incredibly patient with me as someone who has some sage advice, having been here on the Hill for 32 years. I have learned as a young, I'd like to think I'm young, administrator, to listen, process, and understand the great words and wisdom that DeHave has shared with me. And I know that he has done that through hockey and through tennis with many of you, through bus rides, whether it be the Yellow Fella or it be the shorter buses that we take to hockey games. We are forever grateful to both you, DeHave, and Janet for your 42 years of time on the Hill, which is amazing. That's 74 combined years of service to Kent Hill School. And I think we all need to stand up and show our appreciation to the two of you. It's a little difficult to see in the wind, but it does have Miss Dunn's name, DeHave's name, and their favorite sports here on the Hill. While it's not a week in the islands or a gold watch, we hope that these blankets will bring back very, very special memories of your time here on the Hill, and they will keep you warm in your retirement years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think I can shake. I think I can help. And we have a bag for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay. Okay, and you guys can have a seat. We're in our final portion. I know. I didn't give anybody like an agenda, so you're all like wondering when this is going to be up. So I don't think you guys would believe this, especially my fellows from the fitness center, but I actually get a little bit nervous speaking to big crowds. You might hear it in my voice. This is for the seniors. Looking back a year ago and where my thoughts were as an athletic director is really kind of hard to do. It's just unfathomable. I remember listening to ADs from all over the country talk about how COVID was going to impact what I believe to be the most important part of the high school experience. I would never have guessed that we would have only been able to compete in individual sports, one basketball game, and spring games against the same school 3 times. It was tough. You had started a baseball game, and halfway through the second inning, they changed the rules. And you now had to play a totally different sport. And then at the end of the 3rd inning, they said, we're extending the game to 18 innings. This is how COVID felt. Or at least it's how it felt to me every time I had to share bad news with you. Once we got to the bottom of the 18th, we had to start all over again, playing by yet another very different set of rules. And then it was like hitting a walk-off home run. Games actually happened against Gould. We know we aren't in the clear just yet, but this senior class has shown us so much. You showed up for practice every day and persevered when so much was completely unknown. Many of you participated on 2 teams this spring. I thought that was kind of cool. Many of you were up early all winter long to train. You were frustrated, you were disappointed, and you were emotionally drained, but you showed up, and you kept showing up for your teams, for your friends, and little did you know that by your showing up every day, the way that you did, you helped a group of weary adults remember each day to show up. You are going to do amazing things next year and in the years to come because you always find a way when the chips are down to show up. Thank you, seniors, for leading us through the craziest year. As a token of our appreciation for the sacrifices you have made this year, we will be awarding all seniors varsity letter blankets. You have more than earned it. We love you, and we wish you great success as you leave the Hill in a couple weeks. You have certainly left Kent Hill School better than you found it, and it was in the most challenging of times. At the conclusion, the way this will work, because we have a few years to catch up on for varsity athletics, if you are a senior, we will be catching up for the lost time of your junior, sophomore, and freshman years if you have been here for 4 years. We ask that you all meet with your spring sport coach. Your spring sport coach will have your varsity letter information, whether it's a letter or a pin. Seniors, your spring sport coach will have your blanket. Each blanket has been personalized with your name, and I tricked all of you by asking you to fill out a survey, and you identified what your sports, what your activities were that you identified with while you were here on the Hill. So they are specific to each one of you. A reminder, after this, you are to meet with your spring sport coach while we set up in the Commons for the college signing day. We have 5 seniors who will be going on to compete collegiately, and we will be celebrating them in the dining commons while they will at the same time sign their letters of commitment to their colleges and universities. And I hope that each of you will take the time to yet again be together and be joyful and celebrate these students. Thanks, Huskies, for making this really unbearable year absolutely freaking amazing. Go Huskies! Coaches, come on down. I will get you your boxes. Spring sport coaches, come down. We will get you your boxes and your envelopes. If there are any really excited athletic council members who would like to help, that would be great. Spring sport coaches, your envelopes are behind the post-it. The post-it is labeled, so grab them. You have a roster on there. Matt tells us who filled out the form.